Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in today for a recorded Atlantic League game between Ted Livermore and James Robinson. Ted's the USA for this one. We'll be watching from his side. He sent me this game, which was played, I believe, a couple of days ago. Ted's USA, James the USSR, and here we go. So Ted's opening hand is a pretty good one. He's got Marshall and Europe. So he can set up with Europe Dom right away. Have to think that's what he's going to do. Yeah, makes it it's a little bit awkward. Now, normally, if I'm not purged, I like to get Suez and De Gaulle out early. So if I drew both, I'd use Suez very early, go Lebanon, Egypt. Then I'd use De Gaulle very early, fill up to make France 3-1. But that plan doesn't really work if you have Marshall in Europe. So I suspect we'll see one of them spaced, one of them held for blockade. But we shall see. Ted's desperate for ops. He could also use Suez in the Middle East to get out of Israel after Europe is scored. Okay, Vietnam. Ted probably not happy to see that, but happy that it is not purge. Ted hoping not to see Bert the Turtle here. Oh, just going to try a coup. Interesting. Okay, going to take the Iran coup and miss. So Ted now with a choice, he could take Iran back, go Pakistan, or he could try a Vietnam coup. Okay, this is okay, but I think I would have rather seen Ted go into Pakistan. Ted's ops are limited, and he's got does have Europe to score. Yeah, what I would have liked to see is if Ted could get it to Malaysia and Pakistan, then James has to fill Thailand, and then Ted can get into India. But okay, yeah, he'd have had to use his four op there. You'd have to go one Iran, two Pakistan, and one Malaysia, and then he'd have very limited ops the rest of the way. AI war obviously can't be played without getting out of Israel. So this is fine. So yeah, this will just take Thailand, presumably. No, gonna go Thailand and Laos. So Ted with the opportunity to take the last coup on Thailand if he wants it. Now he would need a 5 to flip Thailand, and then he'd be very low on ops the rest of the way if he tried it. Now, this is a big gamble. Okay, he gets the roll, gets a 4, so now James presumably will flip that back with a 4 op. That was a big roll, but not quite big enough to keep Thailand unless James decides he doesn't want to flip with China or doesn't have a 4 op. Now we've seen Marshall. Okay, there's NTB. We'll just. Yep, that makes sense. Okay, so Ted gets his mill ops. All right, now I'd like to see Ted get out of Iran. I think I would have just used IP war there and taken Pakistan, but that's fine. Okay. Okay, Ted quickly scores. Had the opportunity to go Egypt if he wanted to, or get into India. Doesn't do it. Okay, and there goes Burma. Yep. So Ted now can, so he can space if he likes to try and get to 7 VPs, get to space first. He can also use Suez for ops to get into Egypt, which I think is fine too. And if we're going to do this, I think we need to then get into India or at least, yeah, okay. We have IP war, so I think we're hoping now that James takes India. All right, this is fine. Giving up Suez with a full France is painful and annoying, but you do get it out of the deck, and Ted clearly needed these 3 ops more than I think he needed the space shot, so I'm fine with it. Okay, and there's Korean War. Presumably go one. No, just a break of Iran. Interesting. So Ted can now take South Korea and stop domination in Asia if he wants to. Ted with an interesting choice. He can go. He can take Iran to restore Middle East dom. He can take South Korea to stop Asia dom. I'm very surprised that James would punt Korean War for ops. Yeah, I like this play from Ted. Iran, maybe not that important a country. DEFCON is going to go to 4. That I don't like. DEFCON's going to go to 4. I would much rather, yeah, this is much better. Okay. All right. Well, this is a pretty good containment hand, but we probably want to dump Middle East. Now, I guess, okay, it is, DEFCON is 4. So we should get a coup here, barring Duck. Containment should be, assuming we're giving Fidel, should be 4 or 5 ops. Okay, Romanian does nothing. Oh, and there's Purge. And a big coup of Pakistan restores Asia domination. Okay, so Ted, no doubt, okay, and not happy to see that. So Ted now can take a coup himself if he so desires, which I think he probably does. Ted's getting dominated in Asia, and that's what's going to happen. Um, yep, and yeah, okay, yep. Yeah, you're gonna take the coup here, get yourself a nice domination. Yeah, the chat is already saying that dumping Middle East would not have been a good play, because you're going to be able to get number one, you're going to be able to get a coup, and number two, you still can take Libya or something. I guess I was worried about a Nasser headline and then potentially us getting dominated. But okay, now Iran, presumably Iran just gets filled. Yep. So now we have to take Libya, which we'll do with CIA. So maybe a little bit of a mistake by Ted, not getting into India. Now he would have had to fill India and Japan. In order to stop domination in Asia, because he's got no shot on country count. And that is unfortunate for Ted. He's going to eat a 6 VP domination. Now, the question is, does Ted want to try and space? He probably does not. Probably wants to use these ops. So I think he's probably going to concede the first space shot. Okay, so we missed on the Iran coup. We took a 3-op coup. Anything that was an anything but a 1 coup on Iran. And now Ted unfortunately is low on ops here. He's got De Gaulle, which he's got a contained De Gaulle, which I love. You know, I love to take a contained Gaulle, put it right into France, and lock France up probably for the game. Okay, yeah, and yeah, I do not understand that James headlined Romania, and I guess didn't want to obviously didn't dominate Asia, couldn't headline that. But yeah, it's a little bit awkward. He headlined Romania and then had his space independent Reds. Missed the roll. Ted scored the Middle East for even. And now I presume Ted will take a contained de Gaulle, put it into France. UN of what'll this be? Bert the Turtle. Oh, interesting. Protects Cuba. That's a little bit of a surprise. Okay. Yeah. Oh, and I like this play. From Ted, I was not thinking of before, but this makes perfect sense. He's hoping that James will remove the one from France, and then De Gaulle is essentially free. Yep. Yep. Gotta be Zaire. Maybe one Jordan to threaten Saudi, perhaps. What does a Thailand jam do for us? All right, Ted's going to jam Thailand. Oh, and James with Nasser. Wow. Okay. So a turn could have gone a lot differently. I do not understand why James did not headline Nasser. Nasser, much better headline there than Romanian, particularly with independent Reds in your hand. And Ted probably gets dominated in the Middle East or has to get it off for negative if he headlines Nasser. But okay, Ted now because of that gets Thailand, so he's able to. So he does flip Thailand. France is open for the taking. Oh, and Ted also gets Europe here. Ted also with a known defectors. Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand the Romanian headline Nasser much better. If Nasser gets defectored, that's annoying, but not the end of the world. You keep it in the deck. But yeah, before Middle East is scored, Nasser, I think that has to be Nasser. But okay, James gets captured Nazi, and that's probably going to be his headline. I would suspect against the known defectors. James also gets decall. So yeah, defector and captured Nazi is fine. And now James has the choice of cooing in Africa or taking France. Or I suppose he could also flip Thailand. Yeah, do we think it's correct to take Thailand instead of France there? That's an interesting question. That, if you're going to jam Thailand like that, with sock gloves, knowing that your AR6 play is going to be De Gaulle, then I guess if your opponent doesn't repair it, you pretty much have to take Thailand to stop Asia Dom. Um, so yeah, I guess it's fine. Okay, and there's Purge, so we'll just see four. Yeah, he's just gonna no. Okay, I don't understand this at all. That and overprotecting Egypt, that makes no sense. I I I, I don't think I understand that. Feels like that could have waited. So now Ted's going to secure both Thailand and France. Okay, I like this. So now if James coups, which presumably he will do, Ted gets Nigeria. Now Ted has to be a little bit careful because he's very low on ops. He wants to event IP war, although he could coup with it. He could also, I guess he IP war is a great event here. But given that James took Nicaragua and Haiti so early, he could also just coup with C5 once Europe is scored. But obviously can't play C5 until he does score Europe. So Ted a little bit limited on ops here. And however, Suez and De Gaulle both gone, so Ted really doesn't have to worry about a Europe attack situation. Yeah, I don't understand this. Okay. Yeah, just going to take a 3-op coup. That makes sense. Going to take it in Africa. Okay, gets enough on the roll. So now I would assume this is 5-year plan into Nigeria, France, and maybe Indonesia. Okay, yeah. Indonesia X because decall is coming. Yeah, obviously Nigeria, obviously France, and then I think yeah, this is tough because Ted only is going to have a two op response to this decall. So the decall presumably will go Nigeria, Algeria, Indonesia, and maybe South Africa. Oh no, okay, he's going to dump Middle East first. All right, well Ted now should dump Europe. Yep. And now that frees up C5, which is important. I think I would have saved my big 4-op for after decall, but okay. Oh, and there's NATO. Okay, just gonna. Okay, that makes sense. You fill up India to prevent against the IP war. All right, this is an awfully late decall, but I guess it makes sense given the state of the board and the fact we knew about defectors. Oh, and there's a 6. Oh my goodness. Ted tries the war and hits the 6. Huge moment in this game. Oh, and he has Asia. Oh my goodness. What a sequence. Ted tries the roll on a had to be a 6 situation, hits it. Wow. And so James had Middle East and Asia. Wow, that is wild. And then Ted had a known defectors. Okay, so Ted gets his 1-op out of the way, and now he's going to have 2 ops to respond to decall. A 6 on a had to be a 6 IP war roll. And he is able to flip India. That is wild. So we'll see decall here. Got to think 1 Nigeria, 1 Algeria. And now with Indonesia taken, maybe 1 South Africa, 1, I don't know, call it Zaire. Let's take a look. Nigeria. Nigeria, Algeria makes sense. Thailand, I don't understand Cameroon. I don't understand Cameroon at all. That should have been South Africa or Zaire. Um, Thailand, okay. Threaten the China card flip, but Asia is scored. All right, and we immediately get CRGs. No access to South America. We also get We Will Bury You and UN. It's always nice to have. And Ted gets Korean War, so he can space that, unless he gets purged, in which case he'll UN it. But yeah, this is a pretty easy CRG headline. Wow, Missile Envy. No hesitation on the Missile Envy. How I Learned would have been GG. And go lower. South Africa is fine here. How I Learned, I think, would have been my second choice as my headline if we didn't have CRGs. So, and that would have been GG. Okay, but we will bury hits Missile Envy. Excuse me, Missile Envy hits We Will Bury You, which is unfortunate for Ted because Ted would have been able to UN it, and now he does have to give up the 3 VPs. But it's also fortunate for Ted because it means James isn't going to be able to get a coup off in Africa or in Panama. Board looking reasonably good for Ted at this point. He needs to take Mexico and Panama. Needs James not to have not to have central scoring, which if I had it, I'd dump it right away. Okay, a 4-op play. And just going to go right into South Africa. Yep. Okay. I think Missile Envy. Missile Envy, I think, for a coup in Nicaragua seems fine to me. Yeah, I like this. I might have filled Mexico first. Might have gone Mexico first. But that's fine. Yeah, you cannot UN neutral event. Many people have tried to UN IP War, a card like IP War or Brush War to save 2 VPs from Flower Power, but that is not allowed. So Ted probably now is going to hold UN, I would think. Oh, the bear trap. So yeah, wow. Turn 4, we still have not seen. We still have not seen either player make progress on the space race. Ted can space Korean War if he wants to, or he can UN it. I think I'd probably just space it. Trying to remember the blockade situation. I want to say it's around, but I'm not sure. Okay. But so the Middle East doesn't look good for Ted. But when Sadat comes, it'll look better. Ted probably will want to get one into Israel at some point, but just so he can have access back there if Muslims wipes him out. But, salt for the event. What's that going to get? Is that going to get D-Stall? Is D-Stall in the discard? Yes, it sure is. So here we go. So Ted now needs to get right into Colombia. Yeah. Yep, that is unfortunate for Ted. So interesting situation here from James. James could just go right into South. He could just do his D-Stall right away. He could coup Colombia. He could coup in Africa. Okay, tries the Colombia coup. Hits on the roll. I think Ted's got to coup that back. Needs a 3. Does not get it. Okay. Now that's going to allow for a cleaner D-Stall if James wants to try it now. Or he might just want to take a coup in Africa. A lot of good choices here after Ted loses that coup war. An Africa coup is very nice here because it would flip over Dom if he hits the roll. Yep, going to take a 3-op coup, presumably in Zaire. Yep, there it goes, and just enough. So Ted now can coup that back, or he can try Colombia again. Nope, going to UN Korean War, decides he needs these ops more than he needs the space shot. Tries it, and he misses. So now Ted's going to give up another coup in Africa, presumably. Then he'll go. Then yeah, that was a rough sequence for Ted because he's going to give up presumably a Nigeria coup here. Then he'll want to go back into Colombia, and then we will see the D-stall on AR7. And Ted's only going to have a 1-op or a 3-op response. Yeah, I think I would have liked Zaire with that coup because we don't have the ops to really push hard in South America against this D-stall. I think I would have liked to just take the Zaire coup rather than let James have it. But no, okay, James is going to de-stall at DEFCON 3. That's a little bit surprising. Okay, Venezuela, Brazil makes sense. Chile makes sense. Yeah, just going to go one into all of them. All right, so Ted now with an opportunity to take a coup of his own. The question is, how aggressive does he want to be? Does he want to try and coup into South America, or does he want to just play it safe, take a 3-op coup of Zaire under Salt, and just get Africa Dom back? Yeah, I like this. And yeah, he rolls a 2 on it with the -1 modifier on the die roll as well. So that wasn't anything but a 1, and he rolled a 2. So he does get the coup back. And now James with the can fill up South America with whatever he has here. He will at least fill Venezuela. And if he wants to get really frisky with a 4-op, he could go 1 Venezuela and flip Zaire. I doubt we will see that, though. Pretty close game here. When Middle East scores next, should be somewhat even because Egypt will have flipped. Question is, when's Camp David going to come out? Africa right now looking good, looking better for Ted, but that can change very quick. Oh, I don't understand that play at all. You definitely want to keep lone gunman in the event. You only get to see 1 card. Yeah, I don't understand that at all. Okay, so Ted should probably overprotect Zaire here. Okay, Ted's going to go Colombia, leave Zaire where it is. Okay, a nice hand here for Ted. We will bury you's gone, so Duck is safe if he wants to use it. Ted also with ABM. I don't know if ABM is a fantastic headline here. I might want to save it. But I guess there are some nasty headlines out there for James, including Libs. Okay, Quag. Okay, yeah, just get a nice coup in on Brazil. Anything but a 1. Okay, rolls the 6. Now Ted's in the Quagmire. Presumably we'll dump Willie Brandt to it. Okay, decides to take a slightly riskier play on Nigeria. Yep, this should just be Willie. And now we may see a flip. May see a flip of Zaire, or more likely we just see a coup of Colombia. I think I would have liked the Bert the Turtle headline there to deny the coup. Um, but I can see why we'd want to do ABM as well. Oh, just wow. He is going to take the flip and take Saharan states as well. So Ted can give that up if he wants. He's yeah. I think you have to just give up on Africa and move on. Hope you don't get controlled with a brush war. Yep, I like getting cultural out. Attack Argentina, take Mexico. Yeah, this is good. You could reflip Zaire here, but it doesn't affect domination is the issue. I think you're better off attacking other regions. Yep, and there goes Africa. Okay, so James gets his 6 VPs in Africa, but now Ted is going to be able to get Argentina, which is huge. Yeah, that's big for Ted. Now James needs to fill up Chile, and then Ted presumably will perhaps realign Venezuela. He wants to get Sadat off before AI war. And there goes Indy Reds. Okay, well, James does, despite the Romanian headline turn two, James does get Indy Reds off for free. Ted decides to space AI war rather than try and realign. Okay. Yeah, I think now you do your realigns. He misses there, and he hits on that roll. Now Ted should get domination in South. This should just be a coup of Colombia. Force Ted to fill up Venezuela immediately. There it is. Yeah, question is where's the last one go? And I wonder if it doesn't just overprotect Venezuela. Overprotecting Venezuela, I guess, is not great because if you do that, Argentina could get jammed. This is fine. Just take the point in Southeast Asia. Now, we've already seen Muslims, so the fact that Libya and Egypt are a little bit isolated is not a problem. Pope event, nice to see. With and then it'll just be Sadat. We'll hang on to Allende. Okay, so pretty nice turn there for Ted. Ted now with he does give up the 6 VPs in Africa, but he takes Dom in Central, takes Dom in South, picks up another point in Southeast Asia, which is now in his hand. Camp David, a very good event for Ted. Even though AI war is gone, that gets him back into Israel, gets him access to Saudi. In fact, Camp David probably my headline here. Southeast Asia is a fine headline too. It's not getting better for us. We're probably using these. We have some serious ops, but we're not going to use them in Southeast Asia. All right. Well, this is definitely annoying for Ted. This could be. This should flip a Central American country. So Ted's going to just take his 1 in Southeast Asia. Could have gotten it to 2 by taking Philippines, but didn't want to lose the tempo in the middle of the turn, which I can understand. I think I probably would have just headlined Camp David, but this is a very reasonable choice as well. OPEC at this point is only 2, and can be used to poke Iraq, making it just 1. So that's fine. Che is a little bit of a problem. Going to eat a coup in Cameroon and presumably Uruguay, maybe Nicaragua. You don't want to give that. And with this hand, you don't have to. Allende is not a problem. So the libs should go, I assume, 2 Panama, 1 Mexico, and then we'll just see a coup. The question is, where will that coup come? It's turn 6. Neither America has been scored. Yep, that would be my play. A for P. I wonder if we'll just see a coup in Venezuela. Yep, hoping for a 5, and he gets it. Oh, that's tough for Ted. And now South America evened up. But Ted will have the ability to just take back Central right away. ABM is gone. But I believe Junta is around and Brush also around. So I suspect we may see Brush right here. Perhaps Ted wanted to get Southeast Asia off before a potential brush war hits Thailand. But Panama is a very good target too. Yeah, and there's Brush. So Panama or perhaps Brazil. Yep, classic JR Brush. A 2 on a full-strength brush. Makes sense. Ted going to thinking about jamming OPEC into Venezuela, giving up the 2 VPs. I don't know. Okay, going to space it instead. I think I like that better. One small step is gone, so Ted can take his time on the second space roll, or he can get out of the way now, which is exactly what he's going to do. He's going to miss on that one as well. I think Che probably would have been a fine hold, but okay. And now James scores South America, is able to get out of that for even. Yeah, Peter failed, not just failed brushes, failed full strength brushes is the JR classic. But yes, getting realigned out of Cuba in 1 roll is also a JR classic. Okay, so Ted now with no more problems in his hand. Central America, the only unscored region on the board right now. James decides to retake Poland. And Ted needs his mill ops. He's going to go ahead and get him. And now Cuba's in some trouble with Nicaragua and Haiti both at 4. Ted doesn't really have good secondary targets. I guess his best bet if on a realign would be, if he knocks him out of Cuba, would be Chile at even. Brezhnev could just fill up Saudi as well if Ted doesn't want to worry about realigns. The Camp David event, very nice for that. Ooh, what's China gonna do? Something in Asia. Yep, just gonna jam, and Ted's gonna be able to fix that. Yep, James just hoping Ted didn't have a 4-op, and he did. So right now, Ted looking to be in very good shape. Africa right now is the only good region for James. Ted could realign right now at +1, or you could just take Saudi and set up a Middle East Dom. With Central unscored and definitely coming next turn, I think the realignment is the play. And he hits on the roll and now is potentially set up to take control in Central. Okay, and Ted gets Junta, and gets you Surrey. Kennedy good, but and he also gets Central for himself. So I assume we'll see a Junta headline here, which makes sense. Oh, and a 5-year plan redraw. Yeah, I think this is just an easy Junta. You just use it in Venezuela. Stop a coup in Central, then ideally fill up Central. Ooh, sock govs. No, Ted didn't overprotect France. Overprotect France, kids. That doesn't make any sense at all to me. Unless James is planning to just score Europe on AR1. But if he does that, he's going to get dominated in South America. I don't understand that at all. And even if he were going to do that, you just go 2 France, 1 West Germany. Yeah, I don't understand that. That's got to be two out of France. Now Ted can just retake. Ted can retake Europe. Dom go 1 Cuba. Don't need to go. 1 Italy is important, but not necessarily right now. And then Ted has obviously the question of does he want to go into Cuba and activate the potential threat of Ortega? Gunman is gone. We will bury you is gone. And Ted does have China with cultural gone. So DEFCON risk here is quite minimal. Ortega is also spaceable. Okay, Ted checking for special. NATO is active. He does not want James to be able to do the special poke. Yeah, that the one out of Italy doesn't make sense. That should have been, if you were really thinking about special, that should have been UK. Ted with somewhat limited ops here. He wants to fill up Cuba and take control, but okay, and there's Bert the Turtle, so we'll just see him space that. That's a redraw. So I won't be spacing special. So Ted can just take 5 in Central, or he can fill Cuba for 8. Given the state of the board, I think I would be happy with my 5. I would just take my 5 and be done. I think I want to event R-Man. I want to space South African, even though it's not that bad. Yeah, I like this from Ted. I like this. Just take your 5. Let's be done with it. I want to event R-Man. I want to event South African. I want to space South African. I've got 2 1-ops I have to deal with. I've got to get my mill-ops. And then Usuri also could be a decent event. Yep, and a good play by Ted there to overprotect UK. Pick up a couple more VPs. So Ted could also use Kennedy with this hand. Just get rid of Allende Summit South African. But I think I would stomach this hand and use it next turn. It's not completely necessary to hold Kennedy because Gunman is gone. But I do like the idea of maybe using it to get to snipe Africa, get rid of Africa. We'll see. I believe Korean War is also around. So Ted needs to get one more mill up. He wants to probably get one into Italy. Um, see if he wants to event Usuri or just use it for the 3 ops. I'd space here. Yep. Hits the roll, gets up to 11 VPs. Yeah, that's definitely going to be active. I wonder if that's going to go to Saudi as well. Yep. So Ted could put Summit in there or Arman in there, but I suspect that he wants to coup with Summit, and I suspect also that he wants to event Arman. Arman turn 7, generally pretty good. Anything you get rid of is gone for the game. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with that. Puppets. So Ted knew about puppets. Where's it going to go? Saharan is fine. Afghanistan, reasonable, although Ted does have access to it. Peru would be a choice for me. Maybe Botswana. I do like Peru. Okay, Taiwan's interesting. James wants to get his mill ops. Going to coup in Cameroon to reestablish Dom in Africa. Ted's going to coup that back. See, I think I would have just. Okay. That's fine. I think I would have cooed with the 1 op and put the 2 into Saudi rather than the other way around, if that was our plan, but okay. All right, and Usuri, I think, is fine just to do this and annoy him a little bit. And yeah, we did say that Ted did not need to get a 4th into Italy at that exact moment, but he does not get it in there. So a reformer pickup is a problem. A reformer draw for James is a problem for Ted. However, Ted gets a monster here. He gets grain, voice. He gets terrorism, North Sea with OPEC. This is a great hand for Ted. This is a fantastic hand. I think this is a pretty clear grain headline. Missile envy. What's that going to do? That's just going to take arms race. No big deal there. Ooh, war games. That's too bad. Cannot event that, but you're happy to take that, put it in the discard, and maybe you see it with Star Wars. Sure. I mean, obviously, it's great to get war games. It's not too bad. It's obviously too bad you didn't pull it at DEF CON 2. Oh, and Ted rolls a 1 on the coup. So this should just be arms race. Which is sort of like giving OPEC because you were going to be able to get 3 VPs off arms race regardless, but now you don't have to spend the 3 ops to do it. Okay. So North Sea presumably is an event, or it might not be an event, and you just space OPEC. I don't know if Ted wants to take 8 action rounds here. Missile Envy was a good headline for James because it lets him just take Asia back with 2 ops. Ted can't really do anything about Pakistan or North Korea on AR1. Okay, not just going to take Saudi Arabia. Not sure I understand the one in North Korea over retaking Pakistan. I think this is just a Zaire. I think this is just Zaire. Okay, Zaire Jordan stop Middle East Dom. That makes sense. Now, what's Ted going to do with VOA? VOA not going to be huge for him here. Yeah, so Ted has, with a little bit of a decision to make, he probably wants a space decall, and he could event North Sea and then play OPEC for free. Um, or he could play China, hold Kennedy and decall. Um, North Sea event lets you, if you want to play North Sea event, then you're not going to get, then you have to either play Kennedy. If you want to take advantage of the 8 you got to play Kennedy or China, which Ted probably doesn't want to do. Okay, Ted now with the opportunity to take Pakistan if he wants it. And I think I want it if I'm Ted. Yeah. I like I like doing this. I might have just used teardown for that, but okay. James getting his mill ops. Oh, decides not to get them in Africa to reestablish Dom. Not sure. I'm not sure I like that. I would coot Cameroon, which stops realigns on Nigeria and threatens them on Zaire. Okay, thinking about this VOA. I think this is fine. That seems fine too. Now we see the coup in Africa. VOA is just not going to do a ton on this board unless it's played AR7. Yeah, I like North Sea event. I think this is good. And I think we will. Now that Kennedy was played for ops, I think we will make use of it. Okay, what's OAS going to do? That'll just go, what, Venezuela? Yeah, make him repair. They'll repair that. I think spacing decall here is fine. Just get rid of it. Okay, we do not get to headline peak. Solidarity quite annoying. Oh, Warsaw is gone. So Ted can just jam Poland here. Yeah. Yeah, Warsaw is gone. Warsaw was punted for ops on turn 7. Now, oh man. This is I mean, wow, that's crazy. And there goes Gulf States to get Middle East Dom. Okay. Ted, play VOA for ops. Ted, play VOA for ops. No, this is a China play. One, go to Poland and one West Germany. Or no, go one Poland, one West Germany, one Italy. No, 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 don't do this. Don't do this. You don't do this. One Poland, one West Germany, one Italy, and then AR8 you realign with teardown. And you realign at +2. No, Ted, don't do this. Do not do this. China. There's no DEFCON threat. There's no DEFCON threat. We hold VOA. We can hold it. Boo. Ted. Ted. Come on. And we're passing? Oh man, we just take Europe control there. Just take it. Okay, fine. There's defectors. Thank you, Anton. Yes, I'm upset. Ted said he looked forward to me getting upset watching this game. So, yes, I am upset. That should have been a nice Europe control right there with Warsaw gone. It's fine. We can discard to that. I don't I don't understand why that needed to be. Yep, there's a coup. Okay, Ted, we'll just go right back on in there into Egypt and take Poland. 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 Ted? Poland. Poland is just sitting there. Yes, Ted, come on. You have teardown in your hand. What are you doing? All right. Are we going to take Poland now? Do it now. Okay, brush for ops. Wow, opponent had a chance to get rid of. He dumped Middle East when he was 2 ops away from getting domination. Or, well, evening, getting it to +1 at least. Okay, there goes Ortega. And there's South America. Okay, well, that explains why he allowed the Middle East scoring to go forward. All right. No, 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 no. Don't do this. Space CRGs first. Space it. Space it. And then when you hit it, capture Nazi for the win. Yeah, Anton, yeah, control of both Europe and Asia. That makes sense. Let's see that. Ted is a North Korea jammer. Ted still only has 3 in Italy, and Reformer is around. Okay, well, he did have a 4-hop. He could have done that before Middle East was scored. Ted, what are you doing? Okay, his opponent held a scoring card. All right. All right, Ted just wanted to troll me a little bit. So thank you everybody for watching. This was a little bit ridiculous. And yeah, I'll be playing James later on in the Atlantic League season. So we will see how that one goes. But congratulations to Ted. And thanks everybody for watching. That was fun, but now it's done. So long, everybody.